This fall is coming up pretty darn fast. Whether we'll make it all the way to that point or not, whether what we do this fall actually matters at all, I don't know. But I want to ask you a very simple question. Are things getting better or worse? Do you see things around you better or worse? And I think that the answer to that is pretty straightforward. Is it rhetorical? Yes, but I think it is important nonetheless. We're being told and we're being lied to from every media outlet about how wonderful and amazing it is. With the Federal Reserve hiding how much money it's pumping into the stock market, into the banking system in order to hide the fact that things are, by every metric we can make, getting worse. The United States is in decline. The United States military cannot do what it once was able to do. The United States military is spending more money than it ever has, and yet we're getting less and less for that. We're pumping more and more money into the economy by giving handouts to random people that wander into our country. Record high spending, and yet we're getting less and less for it. Why is that? How can we spend so much on food stamps? How can we spend so much on social assistance programs and yet have so many people who need that assistance? It seems like everything that we're doing is making things worse. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and this is a channel where we talk about real stuff. And the simple fact is a lot of you are hurting right now. Every time I go to the grocery store, I hurt. Every time I try to buy something, I just keep getting smacked in the face with, it didn't used to cost that much. And I find myself buying less. I find myself being like, it's just not worth the trouble. I was just out there going, you know, I really need a haircut because you may have seen just in my recent videos, my hair was long. I was going to go get a haircut and it costs so much. Things financially are not headed in the right direction. And guess what? Things are different. I just spent a whole bunch of time on planes in the past couple weeks. And it's interesting how different it is today. The only people that are nice to you are the stewardesses and steward I. I want to make sure I get the proper pronouns for them. But passengers really just aren't as friendly as they used to be. It's like everyone has been beaten down so much by the security, by the, don't even get me started, the whole process of getting into the United States is so absurd. So absurd. It makes me ashamed to be American, honestly. There are none of these procedures to get into other countries. It's like we're punishing people for coming to the United States, whether you're a citizen or not. And it's funny, too, that the United States is the only country I know of where the citizen line at passport control is longer than the non-citizen line. They always have more people for the non-citizens, and all the citizens trying to get back into the country, they just can't they can't accommodate all of us Americans. I mean, I don't know why in the world our government would put us first. That would just be absolutely crazy. So they definitely don't do that. But people are just not as warm. They're not as welcoming. People today don't know their neighbors. Things are not moving in the right direction, and I'm not saying just in the last 3 years. I'm not making this a politically charged statement or something like that. Our society as a whole is going down. We are going down a very dark and dangerous path, and it's not good. How do we even turn around with these things? But first thing is we need to recognize that we are going down a bad path. We are not heading towards the bright light of utopia. Because there's a lot of people in the United States that really are convinced that if we can just silence enough people, we will have utopia. If they can just get rid of the whole red political party and, you know, then everything will be great. it's funny because have you seen the guys over there and the gals and the whatevers? Can they get along with each other? No. They hate each other like almost as much, and sometimes even more than they hate us. Are they really going to lead us into utopia? What I see in Washington, D.C., unfortunately, and this is a controversial statement, is very representative of what I see in America. You say, Steve, no, the politicians are way worse. Are they really? As a wise South African I once met, who made me very angry, so I'm going to pass that right along to you, once said, he said, the people get the government they deserve. He said, but Steve, we don't deserve this government. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. If we were to take just your random, ordinary citizen, I mean, imagine you're a Jerry Springer show. I know that's more like the politician wing of the American population, but in reality, isn't that really a fair slice? When you think about the people that you know, just think about your friends, your family members, your friends, and think about their children and their parents, and think about who they are. So don't think about just your friends, but think about the friends' relatives, and think about the stories. Think about the insanity. That's the slice of America. Now, you may surround yourself with people that are less like the slice of America that you want to avoid, but their relatives will give you an idea of what a random sampling looks like in America. And it ain't pretty, is it? There's a lot of chaos, selfishness, lying, terrible choices, addictions. There's people who have blown up their marriages right and left because chasing after work too much or not working enough, right? We see this across the United States. The moral decline of the United States is very perceptive, and it's to the point where people just don't trust each other. They don't trust strangers in general anymore. Why is that? Have you met people, right? There's some crazy people out there, and until you know that the person you're talking to or conversing with isn't one of those crazy people, you kind of have to be guarded, don't you? They might steal all your socks in order to fuel their addiction. They may walk off with your car. They may make up lies about you or sue you. It's America, isn't it? How many lawsuits happen in America? It's safer just to keep on driving when you see somebody in trouble, isn't it? Not saying we should, but there certainly is a pull there, isn't it? The simple fact is that when you're driving through cities, downtown areas, there's a lot of craziness. And those are real people's lives. Are people's lives in America better or worse than 30 years ago? In some ways, we got technology. We got our little squares that we look at everywhere we go, so we don't have to talk to each other. I mean, so we can talk to the people we want to talk to constantly, right? Yeah. We really have 2 or 3 Americas that have really pulled apart from each other. And those Americas don't like each other. We got the politicians, we got multiple different personalities. But really at heart, there's a lot of similarities. They may have different values, but they treat each other in similar ways. Dehumanizing, mocking. Is there real rational engagement anymore? Not really. And we of course say it's because the other people are irrational. You can't talk to them. They spout gibberish. And yet, don't they say the same things about us? I don't know if we can all come back together again. But what I do know is that, that things have to change. I, for one, believe that the only thing that really can change America for the better is a spiritual revival, a spiritual awakening. We need something uncommon that can draw us all together, and the only thing that can draw all mankind together, all womankind, is God. And that's, for most of you, you know that that I'm not, I don't hide the fact that that is the passion of my life. I'm a pastor, and my church is going through a few struggles right now, just trying to find our way with some things, and I'm stepping up in some ways, leadership-wise, and so I'm hanging in there, trying to get everything done, YouTube and life and everything. But it's just been impressed upon my heart that until we realize that the things we're doing aren't working, we never really can look for true solutions. Now, I get some of you are non-religious and you don't subscribe to Christianity or my flavor of Christianity or whatever. And so, but really when it comes down to it, don't we kind of need to have some kind of philosophical ground that we can all meet on, where we can start re-examining our values and re-examining what direction we are going as a country? And doesn't that look a little more like a spiritual revival than it does a Congress meeting where half the people are bought and the other half are sold? I don't know. Where do we get that from? I believe that what we can do is we can pray. I believe that we can have conversations with the people that we know and try to move in the right direction. Steps in the right direction are better than just standing still. That's one of the reasons why I continue advocating stocking up. It's because it's something that will move us in the right direction. Becoming more productive, side businesses, anything that you can do to produce more is obviously a step in the right direction, especially clean food, clean products, that don't have all sorts of nasty chemicals and stuff like that, manufacturing here in the United States. Anything you can do to employ other people so they're not dependent upon these corporations, I think is a step in the right direction. Everything that we do should be a step in the right direction. Sure, we should swing for the fences sometimes. Sometimes do things that we don't think will help, but maybe they will. But all the time, asking the question how we can make the world around us a better place. Because the people in Washington, D.C. ain't going to make it better for us. It's going to take us banding together, all of us taking small steps in the right direction, and the whole country's starting to do that. I don't know what else could do that other than some kind of spiritual revival, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I really appreciate all of you, and we're going to continue moving forward here, keeping you informed on what's going on out there, and hopefully having some more conversations about practically what can we do? What can we do beyond what I've just suggested and said? And I know that other channels and us are sometimes talking about that in the background. What more can we do? What practical things can we do? So let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Thanks so much for joining us. I will see you guys later. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you there, or see you other times. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.